Short Rest with Fonzi and Carlo.
It's first time na, hindi, I don't think it's the first time na walang it didn't catch me saying something weird and I feel bad about it.
Well, it's not too late for that.
Uh,
Welcome to this week's episode of The Short Rest. I'm with
hey.
my good friend and co-DM here, Carlo. Say
Hi.
hi.
Hi, I'm in Gondor. It's cold here.
Yeah, I have to change my background, by the way. So I used this background when I DM
Last
for
night.
last night's Barrio
Thank
Alonso
you for
episode.
DMing, by the way. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
I hope you had fun. That was a really interesting episode. A lot happened. I like meaty
Yeah,
episodes like that.
yeah.
And a lot of encounters were had because most of you rolled more than 10, so
Mhm.
a lot of that happened last night. But also what happened this weekend was Carlos first experience in an online epic.
Yeah. Actually, it was my first experience in an epic period. It was my first time, and I think it was Luke and Nico's first time. And at least I can say for myself that I had a blast. And now that I think about it, how would actual in real life epics feel after that after that kind of exposure to epics? Like I hadn't done and I haven't really done any epics before. There were several instances that I should have. There are instances nga that I have already paid, pero because of life, I've had to miss some of them. And I'm glad na natuloy ito. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fun.
Yeah.
Also, like it was hosted by our good friends and also um, co D&D enthusiasts, no, at Fort 7.
Mm-mm.
They were gracious enough to host this online epic for free. So it
Yeah,
was a
man.
for free event which hosted over 100 players over how many tables? I lost count. More than 10
12, I
tables. Yeah.
think. That's a lot of tables,
Yeah.
man.
Those are a lot of tables indeed, and for in an online epic at this scale, done so with parang efficiency, some bumps and bruises along the way,
I don't think you can avoid that, right? You can prepare for it, but there will always be like that kind of thing. But
Yeah, that's true. And Discord was shivering and barely holding on
yeah,
by
for
the
some people, right? Yeah.
by the sheer amount of
Uh,
people inside
of of
the festival
epicness.
grounds. So you would think to what capacity can Discord have in terms of like hosting epics like this, no, online. No? Parang
Yeah.
100 participants is a good number, pero yung yung Greasy Snitches din na epic was mo over I think 500 players.
Oh
That
gosh,
was
darn. For Discord then?
not Discord though, but that was
Ah,
the
in real
actual
life.
epic, yeah,
Oh,
IRL
okay,
epic.
yeah. Yeah,
So
I wish we could visit though. I wish we could have epics like those here, or I could visit some of the epics.
yeah, and talking about
GC snitches.
your first experience of the epic, Carl, like how did you find it in terms of like, and how different was it in terms of your expectations of the epic?
Honestly, I thought epics were just combat encounters. Mostly. Like, okay, everyone's been telling me that you need to be prepared, you need to have like actions ready. So I'm me being the cleric, and DJ told me this, I should be ready with bless, I should be ready with cure wounds and spiritual weapon in that order. That's the order of priority when it comes to clerics and when it comes to epics that are timed. This was surprising me. Was, oh hey, no combat necessarily in the first stage.
Mm-hmm.
And parang okay, so it's relatively chill, or it would have been relatively chill rather, because if I hadn't been yung team leader at the time. So as team captain, parang I need to report to the reporting table. I'm not sure if that's done in epics then, to be honest, yung real life epics. And it's fun kasi I get to I get to be very involved. And yeah, I feel like I've accomplished something, even if it's online. Yeah, it was fun. That's my main takeaway from that. I thought the epics were just in combat encounters and shit.
Yeah.
Pero yeah,
In terms of like the epics that I've joined, also like this was particularly um very RP heavy.
yeah,
Uh,
I
in
liked it. Yeah,
Yeah, in a sense that there is a very specific like time allotted for just RP, which is
yeah.
very rare in terms of epics, because as far as some epics go, it's just right direct to the action, right? So you get to choose. But as far as I think the second part of the epic was the most epic esque experience that you could have had. Like in the first part, we went to this kind of like this rally of NPCs where
Yeah.
we got the opportunity to interact with different NPCs at different tables, and there were contests and other
Yeah, it was
stuff.
fun.
Yeah, it was
A lot of
fun.
Jed, I'm not sure if we can if we can share this. I think we can but yeah, there are so many. It's like a festival. Think
Mhm.
of it that way. And there are many booths to festivals, right? So there I'll not mention all of them, but there are a lot of festivals that or a lot of booths in that particular event, and one of them was the ale testing one,
Mhm.
which is great kasi or which is great sana, kaso parang it's only for like two or three people. And yeah, I didn't get to taste the ale, unfortunately.
Mm.
Pero ayun, sayang. But it's okay kasi character wise, I thought and this is, by the way, before these happened, we had a little fishing tournament, and we we caught the biggest and heaviest fish, right?
Yeah, we won.
We won. So I was like, yeah, no, character-wise, I'll probably still be guarding that fish. Especially after a weird character made uh gang sign, so thieves can't yun. And he says he was looking for a rogue. And I'm like, no, none of us are rogues. And in character, I wanted to report it to the authorities. Hey, someone showing suspicious activity here. And I just stayed there in the with the trout, or with the our prize, and I let the other guys experience the other boots, and it was so fun.
Yeah, it was kind of like a experience of LARPing, more or less,
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
Para
it
siyang
is.
LARPing.
Yeah,
Parang general feel of, just RPing your character, and
I
no
like that. I
no par-
actually like that.
no
Mm-mm.
particular no particular quest in mind. Just go around and talk to people and interact with NPCs. Yeah, and there were a few things that maybe are could have been done better in terms of like, and I think as far as the Discord channel goes, I think that was the most that you can get out of it.
Yeah.
But like, speaking of experiencing maybe a better immersive experience for DMs in those booths to have their cameras on and have costumes and be in
Yeah,
costume.
that would have been nice.
That would have been really funny to be
Yeah.
able to do that. But then again, yeah, it's Discord, so what can you do? And
Is this the
also,
first time
yeah,
doing that? See Fort 7, or I
I
don't know.
believe that it's their first online epic. Yes, I believe it's their
All right. Well, that explains it. So next time.
next time. But it was very well run. The first part was very
It
well
was.
run.
It is.
It's just unfortunate that some of us were not able to go through different booths. I was I went inside I think the acting competition booth.
Yeah, you were
Uh,
there.
I was
Uh-huh.
there,
Ang
but
dami niyo doon, ah.
yeah, I left after a bit, and I went to the ale testing booth, and then the went through a couple of booths, also the repairs booth where this gnome character was looking for tinker's tools and he didn't have any, so I left. So it was just a lot of that, going back and forth, and us going back to our own table and just chit chatting. And and just RPing that I
Are
had
paying our
bought
characters.
I had bought a gallon of ale, so
Yeah.
I was offering that up around, and that was very interesting. That was fun. And
Yeah.
shout out also to our table mates, no, sila Luke, Nico, also
Mm.
the three people that came in. I think they were from Manila. Character names are Ardikur, Soka, and Mikhail. So it was
Yeah.
really fun playing with you
Um,
guys.
si Pat and Gabe and that other guy that I forgot the name of. Pero yeah, shout out to you guys. Thank you for being very
Yeah, our table was
very
very efficient as well. Like not to be comparing with other tables, but um, as compared to other tables, that we got most of our quests done in time, and also
yeah.
our phases were not so good or really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
considering that Luke was in and out of combat, our main
Yeah,
paladin damage
man.
dealer.
Shout out to Luke. I hope his connection's getting better.
Yeah.
At that time, yeah.
That's what
Speaking of,
happens when you mix D&D and vacations. They don't
oh, he
mix
was in
well.
vacation
Yeah,
ba? Oh
he was in
no.
Mati. Yeah, that's why.
Okay, that explains it. I understand. No wonder there were party noises that one time, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
yesterday
Yeah,
in our
yesterday
game.
too. Pero
It's fine though. It's fun. It's good to have such a committed player like Luke to
yeah,
want to I want to have his fix of of D&D.
D&D. I'd rather have a committed player than a very silent type who's in it for the damage. Speaking of ale, I may or may not have finished an entire pack of Stella Artois while we were having that
Yeah,
while we were having that epic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we had some really silly situations of drinking challenges and
Yeah.
stuff like that. This is our meme of the weekend.
Yeah. I got my fix. That's
Yeah,
that's like 8 hours of D&D for the past 2 days, no?
not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad actually. It's really good. And
Yeah, and for the week, I think we played 4 games this week, right?
oh yeah, we had to we had to get our characters to level 4, and now our characters are at level 5. Our season 10 ones at least, right?
Very
So that's
interesting.
good.
Very
Mm.
interesting. If you guys want to keep playing for season 10,
I- Isn't the season 10 isn't the season 10 what you call it hardcover campaign out now?
yeah, the Rime of
Oh
the
yeah,
Frost Maiden. Nice
I'm
one
of the
there.
Frost Maiden. Yeah, I think I'll take a look at it. I'll run it para ay kaso hindi makakapaglaro yung ko, yung cleric ko. Sige,
I
I'll
think
see.
Nico is going to run a few modules, I guess,
Oh,
and
nice.
I
I'm
will
gonna
also. I am also crafting yung DCPOAs ko.
I
So
actually like that. We can talk about that.
yeah,
Pero yeah, more about the epic. So yeah, Fort7 did a really good job.
mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I'm sad about it is that I wasn't able to record it. But mostly because parang while everyone in the table had given me consent that yeah, they're okay with it. Someone mentioned something about yung about the organizers, because it made sense. I never really asked permission from the organizers, so I wasn't able to record it, pero okay din lang. It was fun, so we'll kikwento na lang namin dito.
Yeah. So talking about the first part being all RP. The second part was when the fantasy D&D shit hit the fan. So
Yeah.
the commotion happened, and we were asked to perform and to choose from 4 different quests that we could do under a time limit. So we chose a rescue operation, and what was
Yeah.
the second one that we chose? If you can
I
remember.
think we chose rescue mission and an exploration mission, the one where we had to get the from the Yeti.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Yeti. The
Yeah,
Yeti
we
thing, of
never got
course.
into combat, no?
Well,
Or
we
we
did.
tried. Oh, we
We
did,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that that was the most epic esque experience, because epics usually comprise of challenges like that, like weather exploration, combat stuff like that, and a few puzzles and stuff, and you have to do so
Puzzles.
under a certain time limit. So that was more or less the most epic experience about this particular module, and the module is the Great. I think it's called the Great Knucklehead Rally. It's a Plague of Ancients epic. So yeah. So if you guys want to, um, yeah, if you guys want to experience something like or host an epic like this, who has a very balanced approach to RP and combat and exploration stuff, this is a great epic for you to start on. And like
Yeah.
talking about the challenges, no, I think, did you want to go to the combat
I
challenge?
mean, I was chill naman with with whatever. Because it's my first time and I'd like to experience syempre lahat. Pero considering that we have a limited amount of time, we couldn't go through it. But I'm chill kasi we've got a combat encounter naman sa uli.
Yeah.
So there's that. And it's fun too kasi yeah, as a war cleric, I I got to I got to flex my war cleric domain stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about the story of the Knucklehead Rally.
Sure.
It's so basically just to give you an idea, see there's this red-headed dwarf who
Karina.
um Krina, yes, who was called upon uh, hundreds of adventures from across the no, from across the Rhyme Maiden ba, I think, to celebrate in spite of the hardships, in spite of the cold. And parang helping her in this specific endeavor is I think his 12 husbandos. Ang dami niyang husband, sabi din niya eh. So parang there's one who hosts the ice sculpting tournament, there's one who hosts the acting tournament, the ale testing tournament, and so on and so and the test of strength tournament, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
parang marami siyang tournament that or marami siyang people who help him do that. And then all of a sudden some ancient evil, quote unquote, or an ancient force, because I don't actually know if it's evil, suddenly disrupts this whole festival and calls for Krina's head. Parang you stole something. I'm not gonna get into the spoiler of I'm not going to get into spoiler territory. Pero basically I think the Krina stole something, or Krina's family stole something from the from this ancient forest, and it disrupts the festival.
Yeah.
I wanted to I wanted to share this in stream because it will probably never be, pero I shouted to that ancient force if he had evidence, and he didn't have. He mentioned it mentioned that it does, and then I mentioned that we should probably just be taking it to court rather than having everyone suffer for anyone's mistakes. Yeah,
Mm.
never never agreed to mediate anyway, pero
Yeah. Yeah. So that was more or less the of it, no, without spoiling too much. But
Mhm.
yeah. So if you do want to run something like this, like in your own community, you absolutely can. Just get the adventure off DM guide, I guess, or I think it's available there. Should be available there now.
Mhm.
So this was particularly framework with online play in mind. So I believe that this was optimized for online play. Uh, this particular adventure, although you can still run this like if you could like imagine how you're able to run something like this in like over the table experience, like you would probably need to have
I think it's
NPCs.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect format to have when na you're LARPing. I
Just
really
a
think
LARPing
so.
experience.
It's a festival, di ba? And there are testing kaso you
Yeah.
can actually do it.
Yeah, actually have an ale testing. Actually have to try to fix a broken mechanism and stuff like that.
Inisip ko nga para kasi in the Discord maraming tao sa acting competition tapos very limited yung 6 seats ale testing. I feel like in real life maraming tao sa ale testing tapos like there's still a line in acting tapos onti lang yung tao sa test of strength.
Tapos dapat may room for smoking area.
Oh yeah, the weed testing area.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. So yeah. So any uh, 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 considering also like did you find the epic particularly difficult for you, or how did you find it?
I guess I found it again. It's not. I feel like I came in prepared. Like I've had actions in mind in case of in case of emergencies. Like ayun nga, by default I need to cast bless and healing and whatever it is to make myself to buff myself and my teammates. Even in situations na that apparently daw hindi hindi naman kailangan, but I felt that I needed to so in terms of difficulty I'll honestly say it wasn't difficult, but it was definitely exciting. Like
Yeah.
I had so much fun. DM Miles did so well in terms of of portraying these characters that we meet, and yeah,
Yeah, shout out to
that's a
Miles, man.
oh
Shout out to
man,
Miles. Well
he's
done.
so good. I wish he
Bigay na
runs a
bigay.
home crew for us.
Yeah, bigay ni bigay si Miles. He would love to. I
Yeah,
imagine he
yeah.
would love to.
We will know. We could probably create a series of that for tabletop titos then
Sure, why
and
not?
titas. That's a thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about our tita friends, it was the first time, I guess, no, na parang tabletop titos actually met with other players.
With titas.
Yeah. And they were really good. They
Yeah.
played very well, and they knew their shit. That was really good, also. And yeah, I think that our teamwork, no, that and our synergy really worked well.
Yeah,
Against the
I was
challenges.
expecting that that some of these characters would be like optimized as shit. Alam mo yun? Parang, okay, they're gonna be the strongest badass characters ever. Pero when I met some of these, parang, okay, like, si, Sokka in particular, he's a bard na, uh, College of the Blade ata, I'm not, or College of the Sword, or Valor, I'm not
He's
sure.
level 1.
Yeah, he's level 1, but
Not
yun mo yun,
even
parang,
not even to college yet.
he's not even in, oh, okay, that explains it. So
Yeah.
parang it's very, it's, it's not, it's not someone who, they're not very optimized, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's tier
Like,
1, to be fair though. Like it's tier
yeah,
1.
that's,
You get the optimization siguro mga tier 3, tier 4. That's where
yeah.
you really see the majesty of your of your optimization stuff. Like tier 2 maybe, but it's not as strong.
Mm.
Um
I guess in terms of optimization and damage dealing, the best one we could is someone multi-classing into a warlock or a sorcerer.
like what was pleasing is that our table was into RP. That was pleasing about it. Like it's not just about the combat. It's not just about expecting encounters, but they were there to really experience everything and talk about and then interact with the world, interact with the DM. So that was fun. I believe that I think DM Miles had a blast DMing for our table because it's not easy to it's not easy to run a table for very task-oriented creatures.
That plus he had to handle stuff behind the scenes pa since he is one of the organizers at
He's the IRL town crier.
yeah, so I mean I did my best to aid everyone in the I think we did our best then to make everything as easy as possible then.
Yeah,
That is cool.
and Foundry was great. Uh,
Foundry was awesome.
yeah, the game was hosted via Miles Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and with the D&D Beyond integration, which made it super easy for us to import characters. So that was
That's
very
so easy. It's so cool, man. Like Foundry was like it took me a couple days to master si Roll20 as a player. Foundry I got it in like 30 minutes or so.
yeah.
Ewan ko, I think it also has something to do with Miles instruction. But again, it was I'm sure there are a lot of other features na andyan pa.
Yeah, well, for me, like Foundry has a lot of commands that would make sense. You know, they use their common sense to make the experience for the players a lot easier. Where I think Roll20 is a little bit lax in that regard in terms of like just the user experience.
Mhm.
Um, but in terms of prep, like there are a lot of things or a lot of tools that Foundry has that is still quite very confusing, and it's hard to prep for games in Foundry. So well done for DMs who have the
Do
patience
that.
or that. Like I do have a
Yeah.
Foundry, I do have a Foundry license, but I don't really have the patience to go through and learn everything that I need to learn to make it the
Yeah.
way it is. All the effects and stuff and the lighting. If you notice, like there like our battle map for the third part was there were like
There were
two campfires
bonfires ba?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
tapos
Yeah.
nag-flicker yung light, so that was
I
really
was
good.
gonna say it's so cool. Oh, they're actually Yeah,
Yeah, and it's responsive.
that
And
is.
it's easy to add spells from different sources. And it's easy to import characters. I think that is the most that is the most like wonderful or that's what makes Foundry better in my opinion. It's just they take into consideration the user experience more than Roll20. Like
Yeah.
given that you can
Oh,
also now that you can roll now that I think D&D Beyond functions better now with Roll20, since I know now that you can now roll or interact with your characters on D&D Beyond directly to your Roll20 table
oh
using
wow.
using a like D&D Beyond or using a parang an additional program that you can install. So that's a thing. So we're seeing more and more of that, no, of integration and making the user experience for the players a lot more, easier. So,
Nice. I didn't know na si Roll20 can integrate with with D&D Beyond
yeah,
na. That's good.
just based on what I read, no, about it. And I haven't tried it yet. I haven't touched Roll20 for a bit, so I was actually this morning, no, I was actually prepping for our next for our next session for Barry Alonso already.
Mm.
So I was looking at possibly using Roll20 or possibly using other VTTs just
Yeah.
to streamline the encounter. So yeah, so I hope that especially Roll20 since I'm subscribed to it and paying money for it. I hope it gets
Mm.
better, no, parang the experience gets better.
You have you have some rin 'di ba? You have some adventures din sa
I do. Mhm.
Roll20, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
I might be using those for that lang talaga exclusively.
I have ako I have rin a free copy of Fandelver and Call of Cthulhu. So, yeah, I might check it out siguro soon. Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of games that are being run, I think there was this and this is a segue honestly, even though it sounds very casual. No, Dungeon Craft. That's a thing, right?
Yeah. It's called the Dungeon Craft season 10. They're Wizard of the Coast took over Adventures League. They introduced this very unique. I think we talked about it in passing last podcast,
Yeah.
but the DM is now able to create his own adventures, just as long as he follows certain guidelines of the adventures, and also like
Yeah.
the very just very general things that you should follow, especially the adventure hook and the rewards that you are
The
able to get.
rewards, yeah. Yeah, because before the Epic, the tabletop Titos had to grind to get our characters into specific levels, right? So, and you actually use the dungeon craft mechanic to create those adventures for us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess could you walk us through it? How do we, how does one proceed to dungeon crafting?
Yeah, well, it all starts with a list of things that you can make. No, they came out with a guide that DMs can use for you to be able to craft your own adventure. So, what conventionally was the CCC program, no, for players for Adventures League, they kind of replaced this with empowering uh, the dungeon masters to be able to create their own Dungeons and Dragons adventures for set in the Icewind Dale campaign. So it has a few components that you should apply, which is what they call the adventure seed title. So these
Yeah.
are placeholder titles that you can create for a unique title for your adventure. So I think the code should be DC-POA, then your seed title, and then your level range. So this is the range of levels that your adventure can accommodate: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I don't know if there's a tier 3 or tier 4, but I'll check. And also like seed hooks, which is something of what you would use of the adventure hook. So
That's your call to action.
yeah, it's more, but you have a lot of like leeway to be able to create, just as long as you follow the general guidelines given by the adventure requirements. Also, there are called like the adventure seed rewards, which you can provide your adventures with a pre-approved list of rewards
Rewards.
based on two things: whether or not it is a 2 hour adventure or a 4 hour adventure. You cannot create anything under those things. So nothing under 2 hours, nothing, no 3 hour modules,
Over.
just 2 hours, just 4 hours, nothing over.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the no. That's the no. That's the kind of D&D I want because
Yeah.
we're very aware of our time.
Yeah,
Diba?
and in crafting the adventure as well, you have to be aware of four things. One is the adventure duration, so it has to be 2 hours or 4 hours. The creatures have to come from a pre-approved list of creatures
Yeah.
as given to you, and also the adventure setting is only at the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden, and also like canonical events like be wary of those. You can't destroy or kill any NPCs or any locations given in the Icewind Dale Frost and Dale. So or any other D&D reference. So you
I
can't do
was
that.
you know how in Skyrim there's this NPC that you try to kill and you couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
But if players try to, nope, you can't be killed, man. He has plot armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. So there are a list of adventure seeds that are available in the document that you can go through. If you go through the Adventure League website, I think you should be able to
I
find.
think this is for free, yeah?
Yeah, it is for free, and that is what's great about this is it is for free. You can create modules for free. You don't have to buy, and also you can publish them and have other people buy it off you
Download.
or
Ah,
download
buy?
it off you. Yeah,
Nice.
it's available for purchase once it is approved. So there are things
Ah,
that you can use, and just go through the list of adventure seeds here, and you'll see, like for example, one adventure seed that we did. Adventure seed title is Awake and Afraid. Adventure seed hook: a Goliath druid has been roaming the tundra around Icewind Dale, awakening animals they come across before leaving them behind to find their own way to civilization. So that's familiar to you, Carlo. Adventure Seed rewards, 2-hour adventure, Potion of Healing, and Pole of Angling, and 4-hour adventures add Boots of Winterlands.
Shout out to Greg the Goliath Druid.
Yeah.
That's how I remember him. You know, an NPC is good if you remember the character's name.
Greg the Goliath Druid. Yeah, so that was the adventure seed that I used for that particular thing that
That's
kicked
cool,
off your
man.
adventure.
I actually love it. I actually want to run one
So
within
that's
the week.
So that's all that you have that you get no going for you once you start crafting your own adventure. That's all you get, like a one-liner, two-liner to give you an idea of the plot, and
And
that's
how
where
to
you
resolve it.
not
Kau na
not
bahala.
necessarily how to resolve
Huh?
it. Just the elements lang talaga. Like if you read through the thing, Goliath Druid has been roaming the tundra around Icewind Dale, awakening animals they come across before leaving the mind before they find their own civilization. That's it. So that's all they
Tapos
give you.
the resolution will be totally up to the players,
Yeah,
right?
so it's up to you what that implies. Like you can have the druid be evil, and so you have to destroy the said druid, or you can have him as
That's really good, dude. You did a great story. Now, can we talk about that particular game really briefly?
Sure. So the idea was a lot your party was headed towards the 10 towns, coming
Mm-mm.
from rescuing Mother Tusk from the avalanche that you went through. And in your journey you encountered snow foxes in a panic, and they were awakened, and they talked to you about that certain two-leggers were capturing cast something that allowed them to speak, and they were captured by two-leggers. So they asked for help for you to recover their family and their puppies and stuff like that. So you were asked to go forth into the forest or to this tundra to locate their family, which you were able to do so. You enter their nest only to find clues of capture, and also you were ambushed. Upon the ambush of these two-leggers, no, you were able to see and gather information that these are um, poachers that were capturing awakened animals for trade. And
Because they fetch a good price. Yeah.
yeah, apparently there's a market for talking animals in the Sword Coast. So what they did, you were able to locate like a map to their headquarters, which you eventually went to, and you got to encounter their leader, quote unquote, and also the druid that was awakening these animals, who is captured and enslaved by these so-called
People.
poachers.
Yeah.
So in that, you managed to defeat the poachers and set the Goliath druid free,
Okay.
and also like in a very Bruce Almighty fashion, you were able to set the animals free from their
Animals
captivity.
free.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was the story.
yeah.
And
It's
also that
very it's
yeah,
it's
and you were
it's
able
very
to
short and it's sorry,
yeah.
go ahead. I'm talking over you.
Yeah, you were able to find also like a deeper conspiracy, like reading a letter of instructions now coming from code name X. Well,
Yeah.
that was fun.
It's the actual Weapon X program. Joke lang. Pero yeah, it's fun. It's short. It's still even if it's short, it's still a good story. It's still a meaty story, one full of lore pa rin. And the best part about it is that yun nga, it gives you this versatility sort of in terms of crafting the encounter. The best part about it is that it's AL legal, right, Fonzie?
It
Like
is.
you just need to show the DM in your epics how you got the specific item, and it'll be it's legal. I guess I mga people used to tell me stories about how you need specific papers to show to remind or to tell you that DMs in an epic that you got this item. Normally daw some of them don't na because it's for fun, but some of them will look through your papers and ask, why do you have a belt of giant strength, etc., etc., etc. Pero yun, that's good kasi you just show them these and it's illegal. And you get to craft your own story with it too, which is great. And yeah, that story was great actually, Fonzie. Na-inspire tuloy ako gumawa ng dungeon craft.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
really just about mixing your desire to create your homebrew into AL, which is a perfect marriage in my like I have been looking
Yeah.
to create my own adventures, then also for the DM's Guild and stuff like that, but never had the opportunity. I don't know how people do it because apparently there are a lot of steps that you need to follow. You need to provide your own artwork, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of steps in that you need to do, but this allows us to be able to publish our own and to make our own content without with us not being able to have the same amount of resources or time or effort or just the experience and guidance that other people or other DMs are able to get their adventures published. So this is great practice ground for more content that could be available online and offline.
Yeah. What I'm waiting for, Fonzie, is having an actual homebrew guide for creating monsters. Hindi mo homebrew guide, sorry. Like an AL legal way of creating monsters. Right? Or in kingdom. That's something that I want to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to your adventure then. Maybe.
Yeah. I think I mentioned before that I'm not much of an AL guy, but after seeing this, right, I think I'll be running some AL games then rather than just homebrew ones. And I'll be creating a lot of AL season 10 AL characters too. I kind of want to run a monk again. I miss being a monk.
Dude. All right. Hey, you should try their new classes. It's crazy. It's fun. Yeah. So, is there anything else before we wrap up today's episode?
I guess we just need to shout out si Fort7 for and the rest of the team who ran yung Knucklehead Rally. It was a blast. We had so much fun, and I hope that more D&D groups do this and organize this. It's a great way for people to de-stress and have a sense of community, even if it's online, which is surprising. Diba? Shout out to you guys, and then shout out rin syempre kay DM Miles for being such a kick-ass DM and being very efficient with being very efficient, being our DM and being an organizer of the event then, and being the town crier. And shout out to our to all the players in our table who were very kick-ass and very efficient then. We are tabletop titos and titas. We are very efficient. We have schedules that we have to follow. And yeah, I think that's about it. We're looking forward to more.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. You can find me. I'll go ahead and do that. You can find me on Facebook page. We have a Facebook page called Activate Leadership. You can also follow our Tabletop Titos Facebook page. We'll be uploading more content for you guys soon there. Also, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at FonziToot, FONZITOOT.
And you can find this video in the Carlo Geeks Out YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you're probably already subscribed. But if you're not, subscribe, give it a like, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of my stuff. And yeah, you could also follow us, follow me with my Facebook page and Instagram. Just type in Carlo Geeks Out. Don't ask about the website. I'm still working on it. I haven't paid the hosting fees for it yet. But yeah, if we get enough sponsors money, we'll probably work on that as well. But yeah, again, thank you so much, guys, for your time. It's been I think this is episode 19 na. I'm very
Jesus.
grateful that we are 19 weeks in, and yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Give us some feedback, and yeah, keep playing games, guys.
All right.
That's about
Bye.
it. Bye bye.
A short rest with Fonzi and Carlo.